This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com. How great was it to work with Dutch Mantell again? Dutch was relatively fresh off WWE TV doing the whole We the People thing with Jack Swagger, but once upon a time had a reputation for being one of the great bookers, certainly had great success in Puerto Rico. What was your time like here with Dutch?
It was great, because I always enjoyed. Dutch had an awful lot to do with the early training of The Undertaker. When I say training, the psychology of The Undertaker. And Dutch helped Mark Calloway out a great deal early on. And I'd always known Dutch since forever. Since when Dutch came through in San Antonio and Dallas into Houston and what have you. Knew of Dutch and had always talked to him. I worked with Dutch in WWE for many years. So it was always fun to just kind of get back together with Dutch and hang out and talk wrestling, if you will. And he was never one to be short on his viewpoint and his words. And we would always just talk about the state of the business and the state of where we were at the time. So that was a lot of fun. Dutch was confined to wasn't a wheelchair. It was like one of those scooters, like you see on TV.
Yeah. Like a hover round gimmick.
Yeah. Like a hover round. And Dutch had one of those, and one of the damnedest things, man. Dutch had gone out, put his bag in the back of the car, and had gotten off of his little hover scooter and was leaning on the back of the car because he needed to hold on to something for support. And Bob Ryder, who was driving the car, thought that, okay, hey, Dutch is all in, good to go, and took off. And Dutch just fell like timber, splat. And then we had to go clean Dutch up from the driveway there in front of the old extended stay. That salty old bastard got right up, and he was ready to rock and roll for the rest of the day. Just a little slower, but it was all right.
Meltzer would
Anybody
write.
knows Dutch. Anybody knows Dutch. Yeah, a little slower is a lot fucking slower for most people.
TNA put out a video of a supposed board meeting where Bruce Prichard headed it and told Alberto he had to relinquish the title based on using the belt to win it, and that they were giving the title back to Lashley. At first, Alberto thought it was a joke, and Prichard asked him, "What would your father do?" He got mad at that. He said he'd give it up if Lashley would give him a rematch, but Dutch Mantell said they'd like to agree that they don't have the power to order Lashley to do that, and Alberto is going to have to ask Lashley for a rematch. Well, that made no sense. An interesting little segment here, but what really stuck out is this wasn't always acknowledged in WWE, but Alberto Del Rio is a legacy performer and has a fairly famous father if you're into Lucha Libre.
Sí, Dos Caras. Dos Caras is also the brother to Mil Máscaras y El Psicodélico. En no Mil Máscaras con Psicodélico o Dos Caras ever had El Lancho con Poncho Villa.
Stop all that nonsense. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.